Hola Emma, un regalo para ti con mi amor. So Emma, this is the coffee maker that's going to make you un taza café perfecta. Todo dia, todo time, every time. And what I want to show you is how to put it together and how to make the perfect cup of coffee. So the first thing is that this handle swings up like this, and because it's brand new, this is fit very, very tightly. So one thing that I will show you is you may just need to put a little of your body weight, just lean a little bit on it, and then that will release the handle for you. So the handle comes up, and then you just tilt it off, and you'll see that there's this small tab that goes in the front of the container, and then the larger tab in the back is what the handle goes into. Okay, so once you've got that part apart, then the next trick, or the next piece, is water. And the really important thing is the amount of water. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you that there's this wider part that flares into narrow about halfway up. And you want to fill only to that water line. So we're going to do that. And once you've got, you'll see, if you can, inside that the water is just up to that line where it goes from wide to narrow. That's all the water you want. And then you put in your, the basket, and then fill the basket with coffee. And I'm going to pause for a second while I do that. There you go. And you'll see that I fill it right up to the top. So you want a strong cup of coffee, fill it all the way to the top. Okay, next is now to put the container back on. So that simply is the small tab in the front over the nut, the little hole in the container on the front under the spout. That goes on the front like that. And then on the back side, you're going to press down just with your body weight and push the handle so it locks. And if you press down with your body weight, it should lock right into place. And as you heard, that's what it is. So there you go. All you have to do is put it on the stove and heat it up. Now there is one thing I want you to see, which is sometimes if the flame comes out from the bottom, this handle gets really, really hot. So we want to be careful about that, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so while the coffee is cooking, the other trick for un taza de café perfecta is to mix the cream and the sugar together while the coffee is cooking. That way the sugar has a chance to liquidate a little bit and to mix in with the crema. Great, so I've added the sugar and I'm just mixing it. And now we're just going to wait for the coffee to finish, and then I'll show you how to deal with the hot handle. Ooh, it's coming. So I don't know whether you can hear that. But as the coffee heats up, eventually the water in the bottom is going to start to boil, and you'll hear it, at least I can hear it. And so you'll just want to pay attention, and when you stop hearing that sound, then it's done. And you can turn off the heat. And you'll also be able to see that the liquid will stop coming out of the spigot up at the top here, this spindle at the top. And when you open the top, you won't hear any noise. That's your signal that it's finished cooking. Okay, so it just stopped making noise, and when you lift the lid, you'll see that nothing else is coming out of the spindle, and you'll hear no sound. And that's your signal we're done. So now here's the trick. This handle may be hot, and you just want to be careful about that. So what I do is I just take the pot holder and pick it up with that, and then go over to our prepared cup and just pour it in and shake it a little to get all the goodness of those last few drops out, because that's where the intensity of the flavor is. And then I just put this aside and let it sit to cool down. Una taza de café perfecta cada día. So Emma, now there's one little last trick that I'm going to show you. And that is, and don't tell Daniel, and that is, don't wash the upper container every time. Because as you can see, it's going to have the oils of the previous cups of coffee in it. And if you just leave them in there, it'll add to the flavor, as I call it, of the coffee. And at some point in time, it'll get too much for you, and then you can just rinse it out. I wouldn't use soap, but just wipe it down so that it's good for you. So there you have it. I hope you enjoy. Disfruta. And let me know how it goes, and call if you have any questions. Ciao for now.